back again with another quote. Listen to me.
Let me hear it.
If you see me in a fight with a bear, you better pray for the bear.
Cody's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner. Cody's week-by-week hot takes on who's gonna get the W, as well as the $25. This is the episode for week 17. Welcome to week 17, bro.
Welcome to week 17. It's your boy Petey. We got producer Dave in the back, and we got a special guest here, Noel.
It's an honor. I've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah? It's been a long time coming.
I'm excited. Got a lot to talk about.
Did you guys like my quote that I hit them with earlier?
Amazing quote.
Amazing quote.
That's an actual quote, rest in peace, by none other than Kobe Bryant. He said that on Facebook in April of 2013.
What do you think was going through his head when he said that?
He probably wanted to fight a bear. That's my assumption, is that, you know.
I was on Twitter this morning, and then somebody tweeted something. He's like, how come we didn't say anything when Kobe said he was studying shark attacks to plan defenses in the NBA? Like, nobody said anything about that.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Kobe was just such an intimidating figure that, like, he said that, and he's like, oh, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, as we have a real Kobe, we should say, fan, a Kobe stan.
Yeah.
Here, David is the big Kobe guy. Why do you think that he was so ready to fight a bear in 2013?
Obviously, it's a metaphor, right? So let's.
I don't think it's obvious.
Let's clarify that. But Kobe, man, killer mentality, bro. Like you don't teach that. That's something every night he went out there was a fight. Every night he was going out there giving you everything he had. So yeah, help the bear, bro.
Rest in peace.
You can't teach heart, man.
What was that one UFC fighter who actually fought a bear
Who?
to train for his fights? There was like this one UFC
Oh
fighter.
yeah, this guy who freaking.
He's a known figure.
Yeah, Agamemnon. It's not Agamemnon. That's a Greek actually. thing, but
He said Hermes.
it was one of them dudes.
Oh man, we're gonna have fun today. I can tell there's good energy bouncing back and forth in the room. So let's get right into it. I gotta tell you, Petey, I didn't like how you worded your notes this week.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, as we're getting ready to go about the show, Petey just wanted to make sure we made sure that we spoke about the Jets getting bent over and fucked on Thursday Night Football by the
Whoa,
Browns.
this is a family podcast.
Hey, it's your words, not mine. Don't shoot the messenger. How about that?
We talk about every Thursday game. We still got to talk about this one. I walked into your house for this Thursday game.
Right.
And the way your dad was screaming, I thought it was the Super Bowl.
No, honestly, like, I think that my passion for the Jets and just sports in general, for what I do care about, definitely has to stem from my father. Because he's watching a 5-9, whatever the record
6-9.
6-9 Jets as if it was the chip. Against Cleveland. I was like, all right, bro. And, like, not for nothing, Cleveland is a good, like, if they had beat Cleveland, it would have been exciting.
Right.
In itself.
Yeah.
But what are you yelling at the screen for?
No playoff picture anymore either.
At all. And
it's
like
crazy.
They're not even taking the picture.
Yeah.
Yo, Pete, you gotta chill, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to.
All right, let's talk about this game. We had Joe Flacco. I said he was going to go over 300, 309. 3 touchdowns, only 1 pick.
Yo.
Brees Hall had a game. He had 13 carries, 84 yards. Garrett Wilson was kind of nowhere to be found for most of the game. He had 50 yards on 5 receptions, so it ended up being not so bad for what it felt like. Njoku, man. 9 receptions, 134. Would you believe me if I told you, fantasy-wise, he's been the tight end 1 since week 7?
Wow.
David Njoku. That is insane.
That's
I would not have believed you.
You want to hear something even crazier?
Let's hear it.
I drafted Njoku, and I dropped him week 5.
Wow.
Week 5.
In week
7, and since week 7, he's been number 1?
Since week 7. Week 6 was a bye, by the way.
What is it that Caillou says? You know, like, people usually stop once right before they're going to hit gold or something. That's like right. That. What is that Caillou
I like
saying?
that.
I'm telling you, shout out Caillou. The truth is that, like, man, like, I want to really say that I didn't expect anything crazy out of Trevor Siemian. And he did exactly what I kind of expected. Right. 32 for 45, 261 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick.
He had a good game. I think that's a good game. That's what I expect. Like, more than I expect from him, to be honest.
That's more than anybody was expecting from Zach Wilson for the past how much time, bro?
3 years.
At the end of the day, the Jets put up 20. I mean, that elite defense that you guys
It's flailing.
talk, it's kind of failing. I mean,
But you know what? The offense is looking a little brighter than it was before, especially up against a Cleveland defense.
Right.
Cleveland's defense is nice.
it is.
Number one
but
ranked
you
defense.
need both to
Come on,
work.
yo.
You need both to work to win. The Jets defense gave up 20 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really tragic. Unfortunately, none of our bets have been hitting except for Petey, the
one in-
parlay master.
The one and only.
Should we talk about it?
Mr. Parlay. I don't want to talk about ours. Let's talk about yours since you're a winner.
I don't have the numbers up. You want to talk about it for me?
We got Cleveland money line. You hit that. Then you had Greg Zuerlein over 1.5 field goals. You hit that.
Money.
Then you had Joe Flacco over 300 yards. He had 309.
He had 300 in the first half.
Hey. We're talking about games, not halves here.
I know we're talking about games. Now, I wanted to bring this up as a Jets fan.
Yeah,
'cause
let's hear.
Here we go.
As a Jets fan.
Joe Flacco, he's been balling.
Yeah.
It's no secret now.
Shout out Joe Flacco.
Shout
Do
out
you
to Flacco.
think, like, let's honestly, the Jets?
Petey.
No,
real
no,
quick. No. Real quick.
Yeah,
Chill before you wall out.
I'm not. No, it's an honest question.
Okay.
The Jets saw early on that Zach Wilson isn't him.
Yeah.
That's not your QB that's going to get you to the playoffs.
Okay.
Joe Flacco was chilling at home on the couch. Do you think if the Jets picked up Joe Flacco, they'd be a playoff contender right now?
No.
You don't think so?
It's our offensive
Because
line, bro.
Exactly.
It's the
It's
O-line.
bigger than Joe Flacco. And that's not to say that Joe Flacco doesn't deserve what he's doing in Cleveland. Like, that's amazing. Even, did you see the post-game interview with C.J. Mosley? Like, they were dapping each other up. And
Yeah.
then you hear C.J. Mosley go to Joe Flacco. Yo, who would have thought Cleveland would have been screaming your name?
Right.
Because it's
I
true,
forgot they
bro.
played with each other in Baltimore.
Yeah. They play with each other in Baltimore and on the Jets.
Yeah. on
Like,
the Jets.
they're familiar with each other. That's his boy. So for someone...
A lot of people were also questioning Joe Flacco after last season, saying like, "Oh, you're not gonna retire and all that." And
Yeah.
like now, look at him.
balling. You know
Balling.
what? Look, I think we said this last episode, but I can't stop thinking about it. Yo, Joe Flacco throws a beautiful ball.
Yeah,
Beautiful ball.
We were talking about that Thursday night.
Yeah,
actually.
bro.
Delaware.
Beautiful delivery.
Like, he's putting it on a rope. Like,
Yeah.
there's some people that had Hall of Fame careers that never threw that ball. Eli Manning. Sorry, I got something just in my throat.
You wish you had Eli Manning.
Eli
right now.
Manning
You
throws a ball
wish.
like
You
a winner.
wish you had Eli Manning
Eli-
on the Jets right now.
No, I don't.
Like Eli Manning from.
The only trait of Eli Manning that I would want in a quarterback right now is that he was so durable.
Yeah,
And,
tough.
and
That's
clutch.
tough.
He was
He was
clutch.
very tough.
Bro,
He was Mr. Fourth Quarter.
because the Giants knew how to work him. He's not. That's not the offense that the Jets are running right now, and I don't think they have enough pieces to protect someone
If
that's
I'm being,
slow.
if
Because
I'm being honest,
he
if
was
I,
slow.
No, if I'm being
Eli
honest with
Manning
you, yes,
wasn't
he was
slow?
slow.
He was pretty
Very,
slow.
he was slow.
He was
Yeah,
slow.
he was pretty slow.
They might give him the superlative, slowest.
Let me tell you, the Jets team right now is built very similarly to the Giants team that made the wild card. We had a great defense. We had a couple of good receivers.
Or O line.
Not a great O-line.
Yeah,
and we just had
pretty
Eli
poor.
Manning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know
there's
that
no
the league
argument
is
there.
upside down when the main quarterbacks we're talking about to start the show is Joe Flacco and Eli
Look.
Manning. What year is
Like
this?
I was saying, if the Jets had Joe Flacco, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that they would have 2 more wins than they have right now.
I don't know.
I think the Jets would be 8-8.
You don't want to tamper with my emotions when it comes to that subject.
8-8.
Especially if it's all centered around Joe Flacco, his old ass. So
I just don't think. Yeah,
you-
like there's
What?
no Joe Flacco. Well, you know what? I actually did see him get out that pocket a little bit against us. You know what I mean? That was a nice little.
Yeah.
Looks
throw.
pretty
So-
good for his age. He looks
so
pretty
my
good.
thing
He
is
looks
that,
amazing.
But when he played for us, my man was a statue.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
a statue.
he was
That's true.
planted. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, granted, our offensive line is shit, but he was like planted. So I don't know.
But you know what? At least in Cleveland, he can afford to plant.
Yeah, because the
He
offensive
can
line
afford
is
to be right there, you know, and it makes it harder. But you know, I'm glad that leaving the conversation about the Jets Browns game. Oh, sorry, I just dropped something. Forgive me. But moving on from that, I'm really glad that we're transitioning from the Cleveland game into the Detroit game, because I think there's a conversation that needs to be had. We were kind of having it off camera, and we were like, nah, let's save this for the show.
Yeah.
Cleveland, I always forget how to pronounce the coach's name. David, how do you pronounce the coach's name for Cleveland?
Stefanski.
Do you give him Coach of the Year?
I think he's in the conversation.
You
Yeah,
gotta
for
put
sure.
him in the conversation.
I think he's top 3.
To put the pieces that he had with all the turmoil and injury that the Browns have
quarterback?
faced. No, just forget the quarterback in general.
In general, yeah.
I mean,
Let's
so many
let's not
injuries.
forget who they lost week 1.
I was actually talking to your
week
barber
2?
about this because he's a Browns fan.
Shout out Josh.
Shout out Josh. Biddy just gave me a dirty ass face. But yeah, he was talking about that yesterday. He was saying that they're pretty lucky at the fact that they're this far with all the injuries that they had this year.
Yeah,
And
bro.
shout out to the coach, to be honest, because
I mean, I think like Cody put it when Brian Dable won Coach of the Year,
Yeah.
it was a very similar situation.
yeah.
Very true. You know, and
is.
but if we're gonna talk about Coach of the Year, we're gonna talk about these two teams we're about to get into.
Hey, I'll talk about Detroit. Yeah,
Detroit Lions at Dallas.
Right.
For the
Shout out
for the
Danny.
game today at 8:15 on Saturday. Who's Coach of the Year? Another argument that Noel made off the mic was Dan Campbell.
Right.
He's been amazing.
He's been amazing.
Right.
The Lions clinched the playoff division for the first time since 1993 or whatever stat we said the other day. That's impressive.
I think the only argument with that and Stefanski, though, he does have more pieces to work with. They do have a stacked offense.
He had to get there though.
That's true.
correct me if I'm wrong, but there's only one Coach of the Year, right?
Yeah. of
Do you
course.
think they should have
What?
a coach for each?
No,
Conference?
I think it's only.
I'm saying, do you think
No.
that should be a thing or no?
No.
Just one coach.
I think it shouldn't be coaches of the year. I think it should be.
It would be like AFL Coach of the
Yeah,
Year.
that's like starting to give
AFC. I mean,
That's
NFC.
that's like you can't give the number one. That's like, okay, if there was any award that deserved maybe more than one person, you know, how many people argue someone different for MVP?
That's true.
Yeah.
I think they should.
You know,
They should change it and have like a quarterback award and then an offensive player award. Name it however you want.
I
But
mean, I think
I
that
think
would-
at this point it's got to be separated.
you know, I think
Yeah.
NFL and football as a sport in general is one of those sports where people are really hesitant to change things. Excuse me. Like all other sports that want to stay how they were, the legacy, you know, I've been
Right.
playing football since before you were, you know what I mean? Like one of those. So it's kind of going to be hard. I don't see them changing the award anytime in the near future.
I
But-
mean, like baseball wise, you have an MVP, which is
Yeah.
usually an offensive player.
Yeah.
Then you have the Cy Young, which is a pitcher. It's like the best pitcher of the year.
For each conference.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
have it on each side, on each conference.
Yeah.
You also
Baseball
have-
fans be like,
Well, yeah, but you also have a best coach on each side. But you don't think football should adapt like a best quarterback award and then your best offensive player award? Like in a world where you can have a Lamar Jackson MVP
Yeah.
of his position and then also have McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill battling out the
well,
other
don't they
side.
have offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year?
They do, but nobody really.
Yeah, it's not
Puts
a
anything-
it's not a
nobody-
notable award.
Okay,
though.
so then make it more notable. That's
What I'm saying.
That's
Yeah.
the difference that
Yeah,
you're talking
no,
about.
yes,
if it's
yes.
already there, like this other thing, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Sometimes there's two rookies that are balling,
True.
and there's nothing you can do about it. Like as far as offensive rookie of the year, I'm still giving it to Laporta, but
Yeah.
someone else on defense might be like, you know, maybe he deserves that more than Laporta. And everybody's like wired differently. Like me, for example, I played defense when I played myself, so I might have a better eye for how talented someone is defensively versus someone who played receiver.
Right.
Or someone, even if you didn't play sports, sometimes when you don't play the sport at all, it's hard for you to notice a position that isn't as publicized in the media.
David, question for you: has a defensive player ever won MVP in the NFL?
I'll let you know.
I'm sure.
Are
know
you?
the last-
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
LT.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just off the top of my head.
Off the top. LT.
L2.
So as
I know.
far as Detroit, Dallas, before we get too far off of that, who do you got for that game? That's a close game, and Dallas needs to win.
Look,
it.
as your cousin Nico said, it's a must-win for Dallas. Dallas looks much better at home than they do away, and
much better.
they're at home. But Detroit also is a great away team.
6-2.
I mean, they've been playing very well. They just clinched. They're feeling hot. Dak kind of fell off the MVP conversation in the past couple weeks, but he can get right back into it if he has a big game here.
Do you think he has a chance to get back into it? Like,
I think at this point we have the rotating QBs of Lamar Jackson, Purdy, and Dak for MVP the past couple of weeks at least, right?
Yo.
Now, I know it's hard for you, but hypothetically, if Lamar Jackson has a really bad game and they lose against Miami and Dak goes off against Detroit, I think he's right back in that conversation.
Look, I wanna tell you like this. Out of the last 5 games that Dallas has played, their last 2 were away. The only time he threw a pick in the last 5 games was 1 pick against Buffalo at Buffalo. So now they're at Dallas. That means that every other game, out of the last 4 that he didn't throw, 3 of them were home, and he didn't throw any interceptions.
Wow.
That's kind of scary going up against Detroit's defense, bro. Because not for nothing, Detroit's defense is good, but it's nowhere near the caliber of the offense that they have on their day-to-day.
The Cowboys are 5.5-point favorites.
It's true, bro. Like, look, David wrote right here, the Lions won there are 3 of their last 4, and the Cowboys just lost 2 in a row against Miami and against Buffalo.
Yeah, they're gonna
The
play with their
AFC
heart,
East is just destroying the Cowboys right now,
Yeah.
I guess.
It's crazy.
Everybody except the Jets. But as far as that, I don't know. He's been passing the ball pretty well. That one game that he threw a pick at was the least passing yards that he had in the last 5. I'm gonna tell you how many passing yards Dak had in the last 5. Against Washington, 331. Against Seattle, 299. Philly, 271. Buffalo, 134. Then back against Miami, 253. Do you think that he puts up over 200 in this game coming up against Detroit?
I think so.
Yes.
For a fact.
Over 200, yes.
Over 250.
Yes.
Oh.
I think so.
You wanna? I say he throws under 250 against Detroit.
I'll take that bet.
We'll shake on that.
I'll take Tony Pollard under 70.
All right. Since we're gonna talk about Tony Pollard, do you think that is this? All right. So you think he's a bum? Because I see you slowly getting close to the mic, like pressing your lips, like bum, right? But now he's going up against his team. They don't have a great rushing defense, bro. Is this the chance for them to?
I don't think it
thrive?
matters.
He sucks.
I saw what he tried to do against the Giants,
Okay.
who don't have a great rushing defense. He did nothing.
I mean, the Giants don't really have a good anything right now.
And that's fine. But Tony Pollard still didn't take advantage of that.
Yeah. I mean, look, going up until right now, look, as far as ratios to touchdowns, interceptions, Jared Goff, 27 touchdowns, 10 picks. On the season, Dak Prescott, 30 touchdowns, only 7 picks.
Like 80% of those touchdowns did come at Jerry Jones' Palace. 'Cause
So
he goes off
he's
every
there,
time he's
he's
on.
there tonight.
Yeah.
He's there tonight.
That's why I think he's gonna throw for over 250.
Look, like you
easily.
said, the Cowboys lost 2 straight in a row. They're looking for the win.
Yeah.
And, you know, Detroit has been on an increase ever since they clinched. They've been doing okay. Is this the game that Detroit falls?
Right after a clinch,
Yeah.
too much celebration,
Yeah. Too much hype?
you know.
If
I think so.
a win or loss, I think a win would actually probably put Dan Campbell in that conversation of that
Yeah.
of
Yup.
that coach of the year. You know what I mean? Because
Great point.
if they go out and lose, there's a lot of implications. For
I just
this
think I
game,
think this is a bigger game for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So they're gonna play more with a heavier heart. And they need to win. So
Detroit needs a win after all this turmoil they're going through with the Pistons right now. You know, I think that
city
for
of
the
Detroit.
city, they're
the
like, Lions, please, we can't take another NBA game, please.
yeah,
I saw a
That's
stat,
so tough.
Since we were talking shit about the Pistons these last couple episodes, the Pistons money line is the most favorite bet line in all markets across all sports books this week.
It's got to hit eventually, right?
They gotta win one, bro.
who do they play?
I mean,
are the
they just played the
playing?
They
No
just
clue.
played the Celtics. And they were up like 20 points at halftime, and then they blew it.
You said the Raptors?
The Raptors.
They play the Raptors coming up.
They could win that. I mean, they could. They almost beat the Celtics. They could beat any
The
team.
Raptors.
Shout
Yeah.
out Nico. With
Realistically.
the stat check from
Right?
the back.
Shout
When
out.
he
Nick.
looked over, I looked over at Nico. He mouthed out.
Toronto Raptors.
He was ready with the stats.
Oh man, we're having fun. As far as that game goes, who you got?
I got Dallas.
I got Detroit, man. They're gonna do it for the city.
I got Dallas.
You got Dallas?
Yeah, I got Dallas.
David, you also got Dallas?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Give me them boys.
It's me against the world, I guess.
It's always you against the world.
Moving it right along, we got New England at Buffalo, a divisional game. Very interesting. Not for nothing, the Pats always play the Bills very well.
They did beat them earlier this season as well.
Yeah, very true. Can the Pats pull off another upset? They beat the Bills earlier in the season at home. The Bills are a 13-point favorite.
I think Buffalo, they're figuring things out now that Joe Brady took over as their offensive coordinator. Josh Allen, I think, is in his bag now.
No.
I'm taking the Bills.
Yo, I'm not going to lie to you. Something about this game scares me. And I wanted to talk about the stat that we saw earlier that I sent to you and David. The fact that Bailey Zappi got waived off the Patriots in August, made his way back to the practice squad. Then after the practice squad got listed as active as the backup, and now he's back to being a starter against this division. Like, not to say that it's like a Cinderella story. The Patriots are still mid. Like, they're still horrible. That's nothing to like celebrate about, but he earned his spot there.
Yeah.
You got to say it. And not for nothing, if he keeps playing the way he is, like, and showing that to teams in the offseason, because they're not going to have a postseason.
Right.
Bailey Zappi could be the starter over Mac Jones next season.
Another bump.
It feels like the Patriots are done with Mac Jones.
They should be.
They benched
It feels
him.
like it.
They should be.
They
benched him for a reason, and Bailey Zappi has been nothing but productive.
Yeah.
Like, it's be for real. And then,
yeah.
And people are going to be like, oh, of course you said that. You're a Jets fan. Bro.
You wish you had Bailey Zappi.
I don't wish I had Bailey Zappi. I don't want to trade mediocre for average. You know, I'm trying to get someone to hit the moon. Okay, but that's not even about me.
I got Buffalo.
Give me Buffalo.
You thinking this much about it?
I took the underdog for the Dallas game too. Let me get New England.
Ugh.
Let me get New England.
Okay.
Jesus.
I like it.
Because he's different.
It's not. Look, everybody knows I'm different. If I fought a bear, good luck to the bear. You know what I mean? So right now, Buffalo's the bear. Give me New England, bro.
I like that.
Talking about Bears, you got Atlanta at Chicago Bears. Moving right into that. To be honest, both teams are coming off W's. Both teams have a slim chance to make the wild card. The Bears have won 4 straight in a row at home. How do you feel about this game, PD?
I like the way Justin Fields has been playing.
Yup.
They have been hot at home. Atlanta is a team that they can beat pretty easily, right?
Yup.
I like the chances for the Bears.
Let me tell you this.
Bears.
If you were to assume, right? Everybody knows I'm not a big Justin Fields guy myself, but I'm definitely not a Desmond Ritter guy. Who the hell's a Desmond Ritter guy?
Have you ever met a Desmond?
If you were to guess how many touchdowns, how many picks Desmond Ritter has on the season as of right now, what would you say?
Has he played all games?
He's started the whole season.
Okay, he has 14 touchdowns,
Okay.
10 picks.
Final guess?
Yeah.
10 touchdowns, 10 picks. Pretty good.
Wow.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
Petey with the locks?
Those are Jameis Winston numbers. Oh, special message.
Great guy.
Special message from Nico. Oh, Tyler Heineke's the starting quarterback.
No Desmond Ritter.
All right, well, Nico just came up to tell me I have
So
no idea what the fuck
Riddler's
I'm talking
gonna
about.
stay at 10-10.
Yeah, yeah, he's not gonna bounce from there at all. But if we're talking about the Falcons, let's talk about. I've been here for a long time. Let's talk about the Falcons for real.
They still can't use Bijan properly. I mean, it's the same story.
They're starting Taylor Heineke. Like I said, I liked him on the Commanders. Let's see how well he did last game. 23 for 33 in the W against Indianapolis. 229 passing yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Only got sacked once.
They should have been starting him.
Maybe they should have. I'm not going to lie to you. Also, he's been starting for the last couple of games already, I guess. I mean, we were talking about him. There's no way he's been starting against ever since October. There's no way Heineke's been starting for that long, bro. Yeah? I don't know, bro. To be honest, I hope he starts. I like him more than I like Desmond Ritter, like we said.
I do have a question for you guys, though,
Let's hear
since
it.
we're in the topic of the Bears and Justin Fields.
The Bills.
Let's hear it.
So, the Bears are going to have the first pick because they traded the Panthers.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
the Panthers right now are on pace to have the first pick in the draft. Do you think they will get a new QB and
The Bears?
and send along Justin Fields to whatever team?
Before
Or
the trade, I kept saying, like, that would be crazy for them to make that move, especially since Justin Fields is Justin Fields. Not to say that he's anything to brag about, but like I think that if you actually gave Justin Fields the chance to have a team built around him for real, there could be a lot of positivity from that. But if they're going to get the first, you kind of know what they're doing.
The first pick.
How heavy is the quarterback draft class coming up?
I mean, Caleb Williams is the favorite, the number 1.
Hey, I could see him as a Bear.
And what, you trade Fields?
Where would
Or do
Fields
you keep
go?
him?
We had this conversation a couple weeks ago.
He'd be
I
great on the
had this
Jets.
conversation.
He'd be great on the Jets.
He would be great.
He
on
would
the
be
Jets.
good on the Jets if the Jets could fix their offensive scheme. Because
But-
the Jets like to play as if they like to keep players in the pocket, and I understand it because they're preparing the offense for Aaron Rodgers. So that's a really in-the-pocket guy. You got to make sure you use whatever works for him. That's cool. The same way that I had the conversation about Jacoby Brissett last week and about how it would be a nice change of pace for them to bring in a backup quarterback that could keep the game mobile, I just don't know if Justin Fields would settle as a backup.
So you wouldn't.
I wouldn't if I was him.
You wouldn't build around Justin Fields
Not
with
like,
the number 1 pick. Pick up Marvin Harrison, the number 1 wide receiver.
unless they pull off like a New Orleans type of thing and they just like keep switching the quarterback, keep one that's mobile, keep one that's not. Because Caleb Williams isn't that mobile.
And I'm pretty sure they're gonna have 2 picks in the first round because obviously the Bears.
I would take a
are-
receiver if I
with
were
the number
if I
1
were the
pick.
Bears.
I would keep Fields, man.
Because after DJ Moore, it's not a lot on that
Yeah.
team.
Pick up Marvin Harrison, which is he's been
Marvin
balling
Harrison Jr.,
in
yeah,
college,
facts.
Playing great.
You know? And I think I would build around Justin Fields. To be honest, he just never had the weapons.
It's a close game. You know, the Falcons are 7-8. The Bears are 6-9. As far it's at Chicago, the Falcons are 2-5 in away games, and the Bears are 4-3 at home.
I mean, the odds are in their favor.
Yep,
I got Chicago.
I got Chicago.
They remind me a lot of my Mets, and when they should go to win, they don't. So
Here
I'm
we
gonna take
go.
Atlanta.
Ooh,
Wow.
interesting. Very, very.
And I'm pretty sure Atlanta's still fighting for the NFC South
Yep.
with that wonky ass division.
Yeah, I like it. I'll give it
To the Bucks. though.
Moving along, we got Las Vegas at Indianapolis.
Hmm.
The Raiders against the Colts.
The Colts.
How do you feel about that one, Petey?
I think it's gonna be a great. I love watching the Colts, and I've really been enjoying watching Vegas recently.
Yeah.
Max Crosby's a dog, man.
Zamir White, last game as the Raiders with 22 carries and 145 yards. That was the first 100-yard game of his career.
Wow.
Congrats to Zamir White.
Shout
Congrats to Zamir White. Shout out Zamir White. Honestly, I think that it's going to be a close game. I don't really have a lot of hype behind anyone. But, like you said, I know that they were transitioning Jonathan Taylor back into the offense last week because of his injury.
He scored a touchdown.
He scored a touchdown. Maybe if he's fully healthy, he scores 3.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right. Since you want to be ballsy about it, I got Jonathan Taylor scoring twice this week.
You said 3.
Okay, but I'll...
Stick with your 3,
Change it
or
up.
I'm not
I was
taking the
being
deal.
Funny. All right, don't take the deal then. I'm not
won't.
going to be swindled into your wagers, Petey.
I'll take under
Do you
2.
think you're hot now because
He
all your
got the
parlays
locks.
hit week after
Speaking
week?
of my parlays hitting, I got one for you this game.
Let's hear it.
All right.
Ooh, oh my God, that was smooth.
I'm heating up right now.
He's heating up.
I got Pittman.
We got to get that on an echo.
Right.
I got Pittman over 65 yards.
Uh-huh.
Zamir White over 50. I think he has another good game.
Okay.
I got Minshew under 2.5 touchdowns.
Ooh. So, you think that he's going to only throw 2 touchdowns and Pittman's going to have over 65?
Correct.
So, you think it's going to be a rushing heavy game?
No, I think it's going to be the same story it's been for the Colts most of the season. Is they're going to get the ball all the way down the field and then just not score,
Yeah.
or at least not throw the ball into the end zone.
I got to tell you this. As far as, like, if you don't think it's going to be a passing heavy game from the Colts, this is going to be a low scoring game.
It's going to be a passing heavy game, but they just won't get
A running heavy game.
They just won't throw a touchdown.
Oh,
Not a lot of them.
You think they just won't be successful with the passing?
The Colts, they
You think they're gonna have a plan and it's not gonna work?
It's a lot
It's-
of empty yards.
It is. It's they get the ball to the 5-yard line. Minshew gets like 2 or 3 attempts to throw the ball and he can't get a touchdown. Then Taylor's just gonna run it in.
All right. every time no one had the Raiders, I took the Raiders, and then they won. So give me the Raiders. I got the
I'm
Raiders.
taking the Raiders too, especially Antonio Pierce, man. He's been doing a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal.
And I think you take the interim tag out of him. I think you bring him next year.
I think so too.
I think he should be a head
agree.
coach for the Raiders.
I agree.
Now let me ask you this: as far as teams go, the Raiders are also 7-8. Can you argue him for Coach of the Year?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
No.
Above 500.
There's too many other.
Or under
There's
500.
too many coaches that deserve it over him.
Okay, but let me ask you this: look, if you want to give the argument for Antonio Pierce, let's have it right here, right now. The truth is the Raiders were nowhere before he came in.
I understand that.
They were nowhere. Every time there was a Raiders loss, what was the headline? They're not using this guy right. They're not using that guy right. Why are they doing this? They should be doing
Garoppolo's
this.
a bum.
Yeah, all that, bro. And it really comes down to the fact that, he's been more successful with O'Connell than the old coach was with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
He's done great recently.
He knows what he's doing, bro. And he's about to bring his team back to 500. He's going to humble the Colts. I got Las Vegas for a fact.
They're still in the wild card race too.
Yeah, bro.
But
they're
a lot
all right there.
a lot has to happen for them in order to
There's
get
so
that
many
wild card
teams
spot.
right there.
I
with that
also think-
record, bro.
There's just so many coaches that deserve it, and the same reason he just can't win it is imagine if you had a player, right? Let's say an imaginary quarterback somewhere.
Yeah.
He's out for half the season due to injury.
Yup.
He comes back and plays 7 games, but he balls out in those 7 games.
Right.
He's not going to win MVP.
Yeah,
No.
that's a great argument.
He
I
wasn't
don't-
there the whole season doing it, you know?
All right, let me ask you this. Raiders Colts, the over is 42.5.
Wow.
I don't like
That's high.
I don't like it.
I'm going to take the under.
Hey guys, I just want to say, sorry, little
Yeah.
tidbit. Bruce Arians was the first interim coach to win Coach of the Year in 2012.
Wow.
Do we know how many
That's
games he coached?
crazy.
How many games he coached that year?
They went 9-3 under Arians.
So 12 games. That means they were only at
Week
4.
Week 4.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is wild.
To get Coach of the Year for, that's why you deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You end with a positive record after that. So I guess David could look that up. What has the Raiders' record been since he came in?
I think 4-3.
He came in that late in the league in the
Yeah,
season this year?
it was a few games
Yeah.
already.
If he could figure that out, I think that also gives the argument for Coach of the Year. So let's while David figures that out,
I got the Colts.
I got Las Vegas, bro.
Give me Vegas.
David also has Las Vegas. Cheeky. Going after that, we got the Rams at MetLife for the Giants. Because obviously, it's not the Jets. As you said, they got bent over. So.
I didn't say such a thing.
Oh, you wrote it. As far as that goes, how do you feel about the Rams, bro?
The Rams have been on fire.
They
Yeah.
have. Real
Cooper
quick, guys,
Kupp
sorry.
is back.
Let's hear it.
Antonio Pierce became coach on October 31st, 2023. So what week was that?
That was almost.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. Week 8.
There you go.
Week 8.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the week that they played the Jets?
Yeah, so he's 4-3.
Yep.
Week 8, the Raiders played.
Might have not been. Oh, I think they played the Giants.
They played Detroit
Okay.
on October 30th, and then they lost to Detroit.
Yeah, he started the week after
and
that.
then he started the week after. So
And I believe they won 3 straight,
Yeah, they played
then
the
dropped
Giants.
3 straight, and then won.
I know they played the Giants and the Jets.
Yeah, he's 4-3, 100%.
okay, that's not 12. I mean, it's one of those situations where it's hard to give him that same credit because it was later in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing that he was talking about, Bruce Arians, okay, he got to 12 wins. That's crazy,
Insane.
bro. 9-3, I think David said he was.
Yeah.
12 games. That's a lot more to work with to give someone Coach of the Year. 7 games, 8 games, not so much.
Not enough wiggle room.
I agree, man. I 100% agree. I got, like I said,
We're talking Rams now.
yeah, I know.
We're talking Rams
I know.
against my Giants.
It's not an interesting game to talk about. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, it's a
bro.
really interesting game to talk about.
So-
The Rams are playing for a playoff spot. They've been hot. They've won 5 of the last 6.
Do you call winning against the Saints being hot though?
Yes.
Do you really?
You got, no matter what the sport is, you got to beat up on the bad teams, and you got to win against the good teams.
Look, they're 8-7 right now. Let's talk about how they've done the last couple games. I want to talk about
They're rolling.
they're rolling.
They're on fire. Their offense looks really good now.
Matthew Stafford's back.
Kyron Williams is back. Cooper Kupp looks
is
like he's
back.
healthy and back.
Yeah.
Puka is him.
Yeah.
Look, they won the last 4 of their 5.
Oh, I just said that.
I don't know, man.
Who did you choose for Rookie of the Year?
Laporta.
You wouldn't give it to Puka?
We had that conversation.
I think it's Puka.
I'm giving it to Laporta. Bro.
I think it's Puka.
I think that the fact that he especially as a tight end, a rookie is not a ideal position to give a tight end, especially when you're like a boy coming out of college and you're a bigger position and you're trying to deal with grown ass men coming at you.
Right.
I don't know, man. Not to say that that's the same situation for Puka because he's a freak of nature.
Puka's balling with no
Still,
gloves
like,
on.
Yo, every time that we bring him up, I'm gonna say it. He doesn't even wear gloves.
He doesn't.
He doesn't wear gloves, bro.
His
That's
numbers-
the craziest thing in the world to
It's like
me.
playing
Puka's
baseball without
numbers-
batting gloves. Nah, not the same thing.
No, not the same. But Puka's numbers are way too like. I hear the Laporta argument, but Puka like that's not even. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
almost. Like,
I'm giving it to Puka, man.
All right, let me ask you this. Let's talk about Matt Stafford's passing yards. The
Let's talk
last
about
5
it.
Games. 328, 258, 294, 279, 229. Now they come into this game against the Giants.
Over 260.
Easy.
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 Let's make it more interesting. Over 275?
Over.
Is he touching 3?
I don't know.
He 320,
I'm not a psychic.
328 against the Saints last week.
Okay. Like you said, it was against the Saints.
Is he touching 3?
He can touch 3.
Yeah, he can.
It's
Giants
possible.
secondary not that good.
No, they have a good secondary.
They do?
That's like the one thing about our team that I enjoy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the defensive line.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the offensive line.
Gotcha.
And the quarterback. And the receivers.
Guys,
And the
quick
tight end.
question.
Everything else except the secondary.
Let's hear it, David. What's up?
quick question. So, how would you feel if Lamar Jackson won MVP and they gave AP NFL Offensive Player of the Year to Christian McCaffrey? Do you feel like that's a little bit fairer?
You know,
take
I
that.
think that
I would take that.
I don't know.
At least I know that Petey feels this way, that he doesn't think that people should be so hyped about the Lamar Jackson conversation because the defense of Baltimore is what really won them that game. Not to say that Lamar Jackson didn't play a good game.
Lamar Jackson's having a great season.
He's having a great
And he's
season.
very
He's having
valuable.
his best season.
He's more valuable to Baltimore.
I don't know.
But wait, before we get too deep into it, and then another question for you, because I don't want you guys delving too crazy.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
He missed too many games, I think.
No, but how many games did he
Vegas
really
doesn't.
miss?
Vegas
3?
doesn't think so.
3 out of the whole year isn't that bad.
Listen,
When you have
what are his
Puka playing
odds?
every game and balling,
No. Let's talk
Minus-
about this. Look, since you want to talk about 3 games, right?
Minus
Brock
1,000,
Purdy
Noah.
had 3
Minus 1,000?
losses.
but he played.
He played.
I'm saying
though.
CJ Stroud hasn't played.
If anything, I think that's a better argument for CJ Stroud. You would
I-
have said if he
I'm
was
not,
healthy.
but I'm not arguing Stroud or Purdy. I'm arguing Stroud or Puka.
No, but what I'm arguing to you is if you're gonna talk about giving a quarterback an award and you're down talking his stats because of 3 games, I think it looks better to say he was hurt for 3 games than to say someone was playing poorly. For
No,
3 games.
because Tyreek Hill has been left out of the conversation more recently because he was hurt.
I think it's because
That's
he's
true.
a receiver.
No, it's
bro.
because he was in that conversation 2 weeks ago, got hurt, and now people aren't talking about
You
it.
really
Nowhere
think
to be
nobody's
from.
talking about Tyreek Hill anymore?
Not as much.
I don't-
I've heard Lamar Jackson's name more in the last 2 weeks than Tyreek Hill.
It's
Especially
like David
after
says
beating
all the
the
time.
Niners.
It's because people are worried about what you're doing for the sport right now. And right now, Lamar just kicked the shit out of the 49ers.
Yeah.
So
Did
you
he
gotta
do that though, or did the defense do that?
I agree with you, but when you're talking about the face of a franchise,
Yeah,
it's
it's
him.
I understand, but we're
It's
talking
him.
about MVP. Who was the MVP of that game? The defense or Lamar Jackson?
You can't give a whole
I
defense. to people.
can
Listen, guys,
do that.
Listen, guys. I'm gonna tell you how Vegas has it right now for Offensive Rookie of the Year. They got C.J. Stroud, Puka Nuka, Jameer Gibbs, Sam
He said
Laporta,
Puka Nuka.
Puka Nakua, whatever his name is,
Puka Nuka sounds like a really good dessert.
right? Bijan Robinson
dropped the
and
Nuka.
Rashi Rice.
I'm
that order.
taking Puka.
In that order.
I'm taking Puka.
CJ Stroud's still at the top.
I'm taking
top.
Puka. I'm taking Puka.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
And I think it's very disrespectful to not put Puka.
I think it's
up there.
disrespectful to like disregard CJ Stroud.
I'm
again.
not disregarding him.
Playing
I
the whole time.
I was talking about him before. I said he is the rookie of the year until he got hurt.
He's a stud, though.
Until
He
got
is.
hurt.
He is. But now, like,
How many games did he miss? 3?
I mean, Puka.
Not a lot.
We have to
Yeah.
talk about Puka was carrying the Rams' offense for
At the
weeks.
beginning of the year, that's right.
But
For
That is
weeks.
correct.
okay, but let's think about this. Let's think about this also. 3 games, and this is week 17.
That's a big part of the
14 weeks
season
of success because CJ Stroud didn't. I think he might have played one bad game when he was healthy.
Yeah.
One.
He's a
Only
baller.
one, bro. That like you can't look. I know it's hard to still live in those moments before his injury because 4 weeks in NFL time feels like forever.
Yeah.
You know, obviously in real time that's a month without CJ Stroud, but you got to remember what he was doing. What he was doing.
The Texans
I
are
think-
who they are right now.
And why did you
because of
forget
CJ
about CJ Stroud? Because the Jets injured him.
Shout out
Wow.
the Jets.
Shout out
I don't
to
know. I
Jets
think it's
for
the
ruining his rookie year.
I think CJ Stroud's getting QB bias again. It's because he's a QB.
No, he was doing it though.
He was. Is Puka not doing it?
CJ was.
Is
though.
Puka not doing it to this day? So right now,
to this day?
he's about to break the rookie receiving record.
No, it's crazy. I'm not.
I don't think anyone's saying that he isn't. I'm just saying there's a lot of
Is-
people that also are.
I don't know. I think Puka's about to break a record. CJ Stroud isn't.
My vote is Laporta still.
I'm taking Puka.
I'm taking Puka.
Yeah.
Give me Stroud.
All right, all
Give me
right.
Stroud.
But as far as the game, who you got for the game?
I got the Rams.
I got the Rams also.
Give me
Rams
the
are gonna win by 6,
That's a spread you're putting on?
7.
Spread of 7?
Yeah,
So you're talking about Giants plus 7.
yeah. No.
That's the same thing.
No, they're not gonna cover 7.
They're not
No,
going to cover.
Rams
No.
negative.
The Rams are gonna
7.
win by 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
minus
gonna
7.
cover.
All right. Arizona at Philadelphia. That just sounds like a horror scene for Arizona, if you ask me.
We got Bird versus Bird.
I don't know, man. It's a hard one. Cardinals coming off consecutive double-digit losses. Eagles snapped a 3-game losing streak against the Giants.
And it didn't look pretty either.
It didn't look pretty. And you know what? To be honest, a lot of the Eagles' wins don't look pretty anyway, bro. They're all close games.
Not a promising team going into the playoffs.
You know, I think that as someone who was a past Super Bowl contender, I think that the Eagles really don't look like the team that they were last year.
Yeah.
At all, bro. At all.
I mean, they have the record to show for it though.
They do, but can we talk about the scores of these last games?
Sure.
Let's get into it really quick. As far as this goes, you got the Giants. They won 33-25. Okay, 1 touchdown. They lost to the Seahawks 2017. Only lost by 3. Then they lost to the Cowboys 33-13. 2 touchdowns. More than 2 touchdowns. Then they lost to the 49ers 42-19. Another ugly loss. Then they won against the Bills 37-34. Only won by 3. Against the Chiefs, 21-17, only won by 4. When they're winning, they're not blowing teams out.
they're not.
If they make it, it's by the skin of their teeth, and then when they lose, they're getting smacked.
Yeah. No,
Like
I
that's
agree
the
with
truth,
you.
bro. I don't know, man.
This is definitely the game for them to work things out though and kind of get better. I mean, they're playing a really, really horrible team. But we'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
what Philly does.
you gotta take Philly in this one, no?
I do have a parlay for this one.
Noel with the parlay out of left field. Let's hear it.
So give me A.J. Brown for anytime TD. He hasn't scored a touchdown in the last 4 games, and they're going against a horrid defense. So I think this is a game. This is the game to do it for him. Give me Swift at over. Was his line 96?
I don't know, but you just threw that number at me and it
I
was
think
kind of
no,
surprising.
I'm pretty sure it was 69.
Okay.
Yeah, 69.
So over,
and a
let's
half.
say yeah.
6 is crazy.
No, but we're gonna come back next. We're gonna come back next week, and he's gonna have like 150 when we come back next week. Watch.
I'll take the 96 and a hug.
I want to hit you with a crazy stat. I don't think you're gonna believe this one either. You know what? Noel can answer this question.
What's up?
On the season, how many touchdowns and picks do you think Jalen Hurts has right now?
The
I know-
touchdowns include
Passing
like
TDs and
Yeah.
rushing TDs included?
No, passing TDs.
Just passing TDs?
Just passing.
I know his he has a lot of picks. I'm pretty sure he
I'm gonna say 12.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
say
say
what?
under 15.
12
Under 15. for
12
sure.
touchdowns?
12 touchdowns.
I'm
eight,
so
eight
okay.
picks.
I'm gonna say
Maybe more.
I'm gonna say 11 picks, 10 touchdowns.
Damn, 11 picks?
20 touchdowns.
Oh shit.
Low.
13 picks.
Yeah, I know he has a lot of picks.
He's having a Jameis Winston kind of year, bro.
Great guy.
Are you sure that's not rushing?
You don't
TDs?
know if he's a great guy or not.
I know he's a great
All
guy.
These people, you know what? If anything, people clown him because they say he speaks in IG captions.
He's a great guy.
Are you sure that's just passing TDs? Because that sounds like
I think they clown him
It
because
says
one time
passing yards. It says passing.
passing touchdowns.
It does say, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it says. And that's like because it's under the category of him being the
How many does AJ Brown have?
How many receiving touchdowns
Yeah.
on the year? 7.
So there's 13 of them that's not A.J. Brown?
Yeah, I guess.
Devontae Smith's got to have a few.
Devontae
That's
Smith
true.
has a few, and he also.
I'm sure Swift has like
That's
2 or
what I said.
3.
He also throws to his pass catchers at running back.
Goddard probably has
Exactly.
1.
Goddard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could follow up on that. I'm sure David could look more into that. I'm just looking at ESPN right now. so-
Finish your parlay.
Yeah, so I got A.J. Brown anytime TD, Swift at over 69 in a hook,
Nice number.
and then Arizona to score over 1.5 touchdowns.
Okay.
You trust Arizona.
I mean, I think
They
Kyler
can do
Murray.
it.
Yeah, Kyler Murray can.
The
do it.
Giants did it.
If you got over 1.5, then let me ask you about the over. The over for this game is 48.5. That's really high, I think, for Arizona.
Yeah.
That means that they either think Arizona's going to be in it, which they could be because the Eagles are always half
Close
about
games
to lose,
Close games.
or that means that Philly's going to blow this team out of the water.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But like I was saying, I think this is the perfect game for Philly to work on their game before heading to the playoffs. You know, they're playing Arizona. I think next week they might play the Giants next week. They close out the season against the Giants. So if they need to prove something, and if they need to prove to the world that, you know, we're coming in hot, they have to blow these teams out of the water.
You said-
if these are close games, I don't think Philly's gonna do much in the playoffs.
I
got the
I
over.
agree. You said 48.
48.
Arizona in the last
the
5
over.
games, they've scored 16, 28, 16, and 16. So let's say they average 20. Do you think Philly could score 28?
Yeah.
I got the over.
I got the over.
You can take the over.
I like that over. After that, let's see who else we got. Who's on the list? I like this game a lot, actually. New Orleans at Tampa Bay.
You were just talking about how bad the Saints are. Now you like this game?
I think the Saints were not like. I feel like they were overhyped going into the game against the Rams because the record was similar, and they were like, "Oh, you don't know who's gonna." I don't like the Saints, but I like when teams play other teams in their division because I think people play them well.
The Saints always give them problems too,
That's
and
true.
the Saints did beat them. I'm pretty sure earlier this season. If anyone wants to check, but I'm pretty
Should
sure.
the Saints rebuild? Should they ship off Kamara? Ship
wouldn't-
off Michael Thomas?
I think he deserves to get out of there.
I think so too.
I'm talking about Kamara. I'm not talking about Michael Thomas. Honestly,
Get Derek Carr out of there.
He's a bum. No. Look, if you want to get Kamara out of there, I understand. But Derek Carr just got there.
He's a bum.
He deserves to be on a bum team.
He's
They're
a
a bum
bum.
team. I don't really. I never.
He doesn't
I don't know.
deserve. Drew Brees is in the owner's box ripping his hair out. Are you kidding me? He's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
I feel
it's-
bad, man.
I hate him, bro. I'm so happy the Jets didn't get.
Fun fact: if the Saints lose this game, they can be completely eliminated from playoff contention,
And if they win this game, I think they're tied for the division lead.
which is kind of wild.
This is an important game.
This is an important game in the worst division in
Ever,
football.
yeah, ever.
This is the worst division in football. The Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers, and who's the fourth one? The Falcons.
The Falcons, yeah.
Ew.
That's a gross division, bro.
Yuck.
That division wasn't the NFC East division like that a couple years back with like
Yeah.
the Giants, Eagles. They all had horrible records.
That was back when they had the Redskins. The Redskins were ass.
Yeah.
Bro. Like it was just. It was
was
I
bad.
don't know.
Who? Let's say I asked you week 1 or preseason. Who would you have said was going to win the division
The NFC South.
without knowing what you know now?
Without knowing what I know now, I'd say the Panthers, bro.
You were going to say the Panthers?
Ooh, that's
I
a
would've,
hot take.
Because look, Bryce Young was supposed to be that guy.
Yeah, but who does Bryce Young have?
Adam Thielen.
Thielen?
He was the number 1 receiver in Minnesota for a long time. It's not his fault that they just happened to get the best
Wait, he was
receiver
like-
in the league right after that. He was their star, and it wasn't even close before that.
Was.
He was, and it's not because look, it's not because Adam Thielen is bad. He's just not Justin Jefferson.
Right.
And you know, they used him perfectly. Like him and Kirk Cousins before Justin Jefferson got there was A and B.
Yeah, they were.
It was like that connection that they had. It's not his fault that they just happened to get you can't really put anyone else next to Justin Jefferson and expect that same volume. I'm glad they sent him somewhere where he can probably thrive a little more.
He had a really good season for the first half.
Yeah, but
Adam Thielen was balling.
I don't think that their record should be implicated and merged with the success of Adam Thielen. I like Adam Thielen, and I always have. I also kind of like Chuba Hubbard.
He's a great guy.
you know, we got, you know, not to throw anyone's business out there, we do got people here from North Carolina, so the Panthers, I guess.
Shout out North Carolina.
I don't know, man. Like, yo, I want to see them do well.
Yeah.
It's a shame they're the worst team in football, and I've been saying that all week long, all episodes long.
We're gonna talk about them in 2 games.
Let's talk about them when we
But
get
Tampa
there.
Bay, Baker.
Yeah, it's your guy.
Money maker.
He's nice.
He is nice.
He's gonna win the game. I got Tampa.
I got Tampa too.
Yeah, you gotta go with Tampa. I agree. It's if you didn't, it'd be a shame. But I really,
It would be really cool to see Baker in the playoffs for the first time.
No, he went to the playoffs.
Oh,
Yeah,
with
he
the
went to
Browns. Yeah, with the Browns. Yeah,
He
that's
did go to
right.
the
Never
playoffs
mind.
with the
Yeah.
Browns. I saw like a stat, something like that. He's the first quarterback to do something like with 4 teams in a row or something like that. I forgot what the stat is. I mean, I'm sure we'll find it later. But as far as a game goes, we don't need to get too much into this one. But I really want to get into this San Francisco-Washington game.
Oh, my
You got San
God.
Francisco
It's
at
gonna be a
Washington.
wash.
Look,
Oh, my God.
after losing to the Ravens, the San Francisco 49ers might just make the Commanders look like a middle school football team, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken alert. I think, all right, so I want to ask you this. We were talking about this earlier, right? Would the 49ers have the same record that they had right now? Let me finish. Yo,
If-
you're
I'm waiting.
so annoying.
I'm waiting.
I see you.
I'm waiting.
Back up.
Would the 49ers be as good of a team if they had a standard running back outside
We
of
said
McCaffrey?
Tony Pollard.
That was-
No.
You don't like Tony Pollard.
So let's
I
not
don't.
choose.
I don't like. It's not that I don't like him
Let's
as a
not
person.
choose. All right, so let's not choose Tony Pollard. Let's choose
someone else.
Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's your boy.
I do like Raheem Mostert.
Would they have the same record?
Wasn't Raheem Mostert on the 49ers before the Dolphins too?
Yes.
he was. Yeah, he was.
That was when they had like that 4-headed dragon
was.
running at running back. A good running game.
was.
So, look, right
But
now...
Mostert's the second best running back in the league right now.
He has the most
fantasy-wise.
touchdowns.
No, yards wise.
He has the most touchdowns though. 21.
So yeah, you're telling me
that's a bad example.
Yes,
Yeah,
give me an
that's a bad
average
example,
running
yeah.
back.
Brees Hall.
That's
Brees
still
Hall's
not
not-
but
Brees
he's a
Hall's
good
way
running
above
back.
But you
average.
said he's not a good running back.
They don't have a good running
what's the
system.
problem
They don't have a
now?
good running system.
Wait, hold on, time out. Who said Brees Hall isn't a good running back?
He said that...
I did not say that.
Oh!
I didn't say that.
Go back to the episode!
I never said that.
Go back to the episode!
David, I said the Jets had a bad running
Oh
system.
my god. I think I'm gonna pass out in my chair right here, right now.
I never said that.
You didn't say that Brees Hall was a bad running back?
No, I've
You
never said those
Mozart-
words.
You said Mozart was a better running back than Brees Hall.
Right now, this season. That's what I said.
That's
Yes.
what you said.
Mostert is a better running back this season.
You're on crack.
Look at the numbers.
Look, they have a good running game. We can go over this conversation
we've
all
done
over
this
again.
already.
I said,
episodes.
I
No,
said Mostert.
We've done this already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I said,
you
It
can't-
doesn't need to be done again. What I'm asking you is, all right.
can't-
I never said
Okay,
Brees Hall was bad.
Okay. Forget that. Let's talk about another running back because I'm gonna fucking get like goosebumps in my skin. Look, let's talk about another running back. Let's say an average running back. Let's say
Gus Edwards.
Gus,
Gus
that's
Edwards.
a good example.
They wouldn't have the same record.
you don't think that because
No.
of the system that they have under Kyle Shanahan?
How about
I-
Derrick Henry?
Definitely not.
Are you insane?
Yeah, you're.
They would not have the
Derrick
best.
Henry
They would
slander
not have
is
the same
insane.
record. No.
Petey, bro.
Derrick Henry
Petey.
slander is insane.
Yo,
Derrick Henry
Derrick
hasn't had a
Henry-
great season.
Because the Titans suck.
Okay, but
The
still.
Titans suck. That has nothing to do with Derrick Henry. I know for a fact because you were talking about Tajay Spears earlier, like he was Jesus Christ.
It's a good running back.
Derrick Henry, if he ever managed to get out of Tennessee,
He'd be a monster.
a
He'd be a
monster.
monster.
I have no doubt in my mind he would be a monster. You can't blame.
If
you
the-
can't. Yo, have you seen Derrick Henry?
Yes,
His
I've seen
leg
him.
is
He's
the
a
size
big
of
guy.
my entire body, head to toe.
I understand, but I don't think the Niners would have the same record of Derrick Henry. Because by you saying that, you're telling me that McCaffrey doesn't add a win to that Niners team.
That's not true.
That's what you're telling me. You
That's
think
not what I'm
if you're telling me they have the same record with Derrick Henry than McCaffrey, then you're
making-
telling me McCaffrey doesn't add a win to the Niners.
You're making it an argument for me to say that McCaffrey isn't as valuable, and that's not what I'm saying.
I'm saying he's more valuable
saying to
than
you-
Derrick Henry would be.
What I'm saying to you is that doesn't. I'm not putting any negativity towards McCaffrey. I'm putting the fact that I have so much faith in the 49ers coaching that they could make that happen with anybody.
No, bro. McCaffrey, we have to look back at it, but he's won them games.
I'm gonna give you an example. The 49ers, before they had McCaffrey, had like 3 or 4 nobody running backs, and they were going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm agree with.
They were going to the chip.
It's the system.
With nobodies in the running back, bro.
We're not.
Mostert's not a nobody.
They are a system that
Mostert's
relies.
not a nobody.
Look, I'm not saying he's a nobody, and that's why we changed the example. So I'm not gonna take.
But that's
back
who
to
they
Monster.
had.
Can you imagine Derrick
He
Henry
was a
catching
nobody
pass
when he was on that team.
in the backfield with a full head of steam?
Come on, bro. Listen, look. The
We're talking about Christian McCaffrey.
The plan for the 49ers was always, let's get stars at the receiving position. When they went to the bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, it was nobody, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle.
Yeah.
That was before they had Brandon Ayuk, because then they drafted him. He also just happened to be a monster. It was nobody, George Kittle, and Brandon Ayuk. I'm sorry, Deebo Samuel. Their star quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Their system works. Kyle Shanahan
they had a great
knows what he's doing. He switched out one nobody quarterback for another one and just happened to get the 3-headed monster in the running back room. But he proved on live television, the world was watching, that he didn't need a running back star.
Right.
But he has one.
That's what I'm saying.
But he doesn't need one.
He doesn't. Yeah. It's just the fact that he's there. It's a match made in heaven.
That's not to down talk. That's not to down talk any running back that they did have. They had Mozart, good running back. Elijah Mitchell, good running back. Can someone name someone else? There was 3.
Who's the third one?
Oh man, yo David, can you pull that up?
Third string.
Can you pull up what running backs were on the 49ers roster the last time they went to the Super Bowl?
Yep.
It was a couple years back, right, against the Chiefs.
Against the Chiefs, yeah. The last time the Chiefs won, and look, they lost that Super Bowl.
They did.
They did. That's not to say that you know. If they had won, I might have fucking broke my microphone in half right here, right now with this argument, because I would have been like, yo, they even showed that they could win the Super Bowl without one, but they didn't. So you might be right.
Right.
But as far as wins and losses go,
I mean, we were talking about standard running back. Then you threw Derrick Henry.
you're talking
Is he
about
a standard running back?
the way that you talk about him, maybe.
I never said he was bad.
Huh.
When am I saying these guys are bad?
Yo, Petey, come on, bro.
I haven't said the word bad.
Petey.
You said no when he asked if you plugged Derrick Henry there. You were like, no.
No.
You automatically said no.
The Niners wouldn't have the same record.
In 2019, correct?
Yes.
This is when they went.
When they played against the Chiefs.
Tevin Coleman as a running back.
Who? Next one.
Deebo Samuel.
Okay.
I mean, they have him as a wide receiver here.
Yeah, he was a running back though.
Honestly, that's all they've got. That's all I see here. I think Tevin Coleman was and Raheem Mostert was there, I believe.
I feel like they
had Elijah Mitchell there also.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. But you know what? It might not show that in the starting roster because it's like the depth chart kind of. You know what I mean? So like if you go a little more in depth, it might show like the whole running back room, but it might not show it. Like even right now, like with the Jets, they have Breece Hall, but they also have like,
Let's say you take Breece Hall off the Jets. Do they have the same record?
Who gives a fuck about the Jets?
No, I'm asking you.
right
I'm asking
now?
you. They're 6-9.
No, they don't have the same record. No,
okay.
they don't have the same record.
So if I'm taking McCaffrey off the Niners, you still think they're gonna have the same record?
The Jets have nothing else.
Still.
That's a whole different conversation.
Still.
No, that's a bad argument, PD. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, bro, if you're taking a running back off the 49ers, they still have X, Y, and Z to throw the ball to, bro. Yeah. When Breece Hall isn't on...
We're forgetting Deebo Samuel was out for weeks.
3 weeks.
Who was carrying that offense?
They weren't. They were losing.
But who was doing it?
We're not talking about Deebo Samuel, though. You're talking about running backs. Okay,
because he's a piece on that. He's a receiver on that team, basically.
Yeah, he is. So you can't give that same argument. We're talking about Breece Hall and Christian McCaffrey, bro.
It's not my fault they're used differently.
It is your fault. I'm gonna tell you why. Because, bro, you take McCaffrey off that team, they still got Deebo, Ayuk, George Kittle. If you take Breece Hall off the Jets, they have Garrett Wilson. Come on, bro.
Let's talk this. The Bills. Let's say you put McCaffrey on the Bills. Do you think they have more wins? They have pieces.
Probably. But they
don't
don't
the Bills?
I think the Bills don't have such as healthy of an offensive system
as
the 49ers. Because not for nothing, if McCaffrey was on that team during that whole little patch of the season where Josh Allen looked really confused out there, there was like 2 or 3 games in a row where the Bills were looking really nasty right before they fired their offensive coordinator. If McCaffrey was on that team while that was going on, they might have never switched offensive coordinator, number one. And they would have a better record, bro.
I don't know. David, you brought up would it be fair if McCaffrey won Offensive Player of the Year, right?
Matt Breida.
Matt Breida was
yeah.
also on that team.
That was the guy.
Okay, right.
So it's Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and Kyle
And Jeff
Wilson
Wilson.
and Kyle as their fullback.
Okay, so they went to the chip with those players, right?
They didn't win the chip.
Listen, they went. We're not. You said wins and losses, so that's not the chip. That's regular season.
They went to the chip.
Correct. Yes or no?
David, what was their record that year?
Oh my God, bro.
I actually just saw it, so give me 2
I
seconds.
can't ask questions.
Yo.
Keep talking. Go. I'm asking a question.
I believe they're 13-3.
Okay, they went to the Super Bowl. If you're talking about the highest equivalent to being successful as an NFL team is going to the Super Bowl, yes or no?
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's what everybody in the league is trying to do all year
Win the
long.
Super Bowl.
You gotta go to the Super Bowl to win the Super Bowl,
Well, yeah.
right? Okay, so you're gonna tell me that the equivalent of all 4 of those players is Christian McCaffrey. He's doing the same thing that those 4 players were doing.
But this is one guy now.
Exactly. So he holds.
But I'm saying, but you're replacing.
So there's no loss of value.
But no. But the argument is you're replacing this one guy with another one guy now with 4 guys.
So I'm saying he could do it with any guy. Because
If he had 4 good ones, maybe, yeah.
You're not running the ball with 4 people at a time. You're giving the ball to one person at a time. Whether it's 4 people, 3 people, 8 people, you're giving the ball to one person at a time. So he could do it with anybody. It doesn't need to be McCaffrey.
I don't think you do it for anybody. They'd win games, yes.
Yo,
But I think.
I'm gonna just sip my coffee and let you.
All right, guys. Let's.
Well, David, before we
It was
move
a heated
on,
argument.
Yeah.
before we move on, you said would it be fair if McCaffrey was Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair. He's still super important to the 49ers offense, obviously, but I just don't think he's the MVP.
So this is why I brought up maybe changing the award. Because if I asked you to name the last 3 MVPs in the NFL, could you?
Last 3 MVPs?
Yeah. Or at least
Off
2.
the top of my head?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Honestly, I couldn't.
And I bet you couldn't name the best Offensive Player of the Year. Probably less.
Yeah, even probably less.
And that's why I think that, like, is it fair? Like, I don't think he's getting that recognition as much as an MVP would.
All right. Well, I think as far as that conversation goes, it's rough. Who you got? I got San Francisco without a doubt.
I got San Fran.
San Fran.
Anybody have anything else but San Fran?
No.
I hope not.
All right, moving right along. We'll keep this one short and sweet. Carolina at Jacksonville, and Trevor Lawrence is questionable.
Jacksonville should win even if he doesn't play.
I'm not gonna lie to you. With Jacksonville out, with Trevor Lawrence out, I think it's gonna go the other way around. I think Carolina finally picks one up. I got my boy the Panthers.
Hot take.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me the Jags.
It's a tight race for AFC South. Trevor Lawrence playing hurt. He threw 2 interceptions last game against the Bucs. They're on a 4-game losing streak,
They have to snap out of it this game.
and the Panthers are coming off a season high in
Next,
points. even with the
Jags are
lose.
going to win.
Jags, come on. Let's go.
All right. Miami at Baltimore. This one is
That's a good
interesting.
game.
It's going to be a great game.
There's a lot of people hurt this game, and I think that's going to affect why I made my own little parlay for this game.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that.
Got Zay Flowers questionable with a calf. Got Mozart questionable with an ankle. Jalen Ramsey questionable with a knee injury, and Jalen Waddle is out. Both, not one, both of Miami's cornerbacks are hurt with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard.
That's
And
the strength of their defense.
That's a big part of their defense. Their secondary, how many highlight reels have we seen of Jalen Ramsey running down the field off a pig?
Yep.
I think it's really hard. It's a sneak peek of the AFC Championship game. Both these teams are nasty, bro.
Really good.
These are 2 of the 4 teams we were talking about could potentially go to the bowl. So I think with Jalen Waddle out, you got to think who's going to get the ball.
I wonder who it could be.
He's finally swinging back into the
It's going to be a hard guess.
with
Who's the third string on that team?
no, with your boy Mozart also questionable. I got Tyreek Hill with an anytime touchdown.
Ooh.
I got Lamar throwing over 250 passing.
I like it.
With those 2 cornerbacks out, you got to think he has to want to throw the ball.
He's
no?
slinging it.
And then I got the over for 46.5
I like that.
because I think that Miami's defense is not going to be better than San Francisco's, but I think Mike McDaniels is smart enough to make plays happen over their defense. So they're going to score, plus Lamar Jackson scoring over these cornerbacks that are injured. It's going to hit the over 46.5 for sure.
Do you think Achan will score?
Who?
Achan?
Who's that?
A-Chain?
That's crazy.
Say
No,
that one more
his name's Achan.
Isn't it A-Chain?
No, it's
Sorry.
Achan.
Is he a good running back or is it a good running game?
See this guy? I just asked him.
Yeah, this
I just asked you if he's going to score.
I don't think he's going to score.
Okay.
He hasn't been getting a lot of playing time.
Yeah, it's been weird, but I think
But yeah,
now
he's
He's
Mostert
gonna be
questionable.
RB1 now though, so that's a fair question to ask. With Mozart questionable, it depends on if Mozart plays, because it's a game time decision. It says
Even if he plays, I don't think he's going to
it
play.
says their
fully.
expected return is New Year's Eve. That doesn't mean that he's ready though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the end of the season. You got to get all your regular season licks in before playoff time starts. Or that might mean that they already know they're going to the playoffs, so they might not even worry about playing this guy this game. So it can go either way. I think
he has to play, though, seating positions.
I don't see him scoring. I don't see him scoring.
It's fair.
And actually, with everything said and done,
Who you got?
I still got
tough.
Baltimore winning this game, bro.
I got Baltimore, too. I love Miami. I think Tua hasn't done great recently.
Do you think there's too much hype around Baltimore now that they beat San Francisco?
No.
Nah, man, it's a sneak peek of the ANC championship right here. Low key.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Low key.
I think Baltimore's got a really good defense. Tua might struggle. Tyreek, I'm sure, is not 100% still. They're missing Waddle. I think Baltimore's going to win.
Give me the MVP front runner, Lamar, and Baltimore.
Front runner is such a strong name. Yo, Lamar said, "Hey, if I'm fighting a bear, good luck to the bear." I got Baltimore for sure.
I got
like
B
it.
more.
You know, this one's also going to be a quick one. A potential offensive rookie of the year in Tennessee at Houston.
It's gonna be a good one.
Stroud
Yeah, we
back
talk-
for the Texans.
We talk about a trap team. Tennessee is the trap team.
The Titans are already out of the playoffs.
They're still a trap team.
They're already out though.
You couldn't guarantee Houston's going to win this game, though.
With CJ Stroud, I'm a little more confident.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
going to take Tennessee.
Who was their quarterback last week? Case Keenum?
I'm going to take Tennessee.
Boom.
I'm going to take Tennessee.
You're going to take Tennessee?
I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm taking
Give
Houston.
me Houston.
It's not even close, bro.
And they're fighting for that AFC division. CJ Stroud's back. This is the perfect time to come back.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's balling. He was balling.
I'm taking Tennessee.
You know what's one really important factor that I haven't looked into as much? I really want to know for this game. Who are the active receivers for this game? Because you know that the receiver room is
Nico
thin.
Collins is back. Tank Dell still out.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
for the season.
I still got Houston.
Next.
On to the next.
This one's another one we could breeze through. The Chargers at Denver. Russell Wilson just got benched. You know, he tweeted out whatever he said. He was like, "Oh, God got me."
God did.
Yeah, he's not talking about that "let's ride" bullshit anymore. I guess, right? He's "let's ride" to the next team. I don't know, man. It's gonna be rough, but you know, not for nothing. The Chargers are even rougher. You know, they're really going through a lot, and I think both these teams are going through their own struggle. But you got to go with Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, you skipped the game, but that's okay.
I did. I
That's
did
okay.
skip a game. We'll go back to it.
I got Denver as well. I don't know.
This is the year.
Denver has a better defense, bro.
Yeah. And this was the year for the
I'll
backup
pick
quarterback.
Denver.
This
I'll
was
pick
the
Denver.
year for the backup quarterback. So let's see whoever
Yeah,
their
you're right.
backup quarterback
Stidham.
is.
Stidham is going to
You're talking about the backup quarterback for who? For Denver?
Yeah.
Stidham.
Jerry
Was
Stidham.
Stidham?
Yeah, he's a nobody.
Moving on.
Because
I got
listen.
Moving on.
Nobody.
moving on.
Pittsburgh at Seattle. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. He's back. It's after Christmas. Is he still going to ball? It's still the season. It's still December.
It's still interesting. I don't really know. I think, to be honest, I think Seattle's been playing amazing.
Yeah.
football
Fun fact,
as of
though.
lately.
Fun fact. Mike Tomlin's record of 17 straight non-losing seasons is on the line with this game.
Ooh, that is important.
Give me the Steelers.
Give me the Steelers, too. Rudolph.
Give me the Steelers.
Give me Seattle, bro.
Santa's sleigh.
Nah, give me Seattle. And you were the one that was talking earlier about Kenneth Walker. Do you think he does anything this game?
I don't trust him.
At all?
It's not that I don't trust him. I don't know. He's been really hit or miss. I think he should have a good game.
I gotta tell you, you said you don't know if you trust him, but the way you talk, it sounds like you just actively do not trust him.
Yeah, that's right. Moving on.
Moving on, we got Cincinnati at Kansas City.
It's a good game.
The Bengals have won 3 of the last 4, and the Chiefs have lost 3 of the last 4.
I mean, this is setting up to be a a bounce back game from Mahomes and Kelsey.
And you know what?
Has to be.
It's nice to finally hear the Chiefs are fighting for a playoff spot. And who
When was the last time you heard that?
Exactly. Well, you know what? It was. I feel like growing up, it was the Chiefs were a nobody, and then they were in the Super Bowl, and I don't remember anything in between that.
Yeah.
So it's finally nice to see, some people come back down to earth. It's unfortunate for Pat Mahomes.
David, do you think the Chiefs? I'm trying to compare a team, but let's say they sneak into the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think they could be similar to the Warriors as of a year or two ago?
I was thinking about
when they got into the playoffs and won it all.
Listen, the Chiefs are one of those teams, but the problem with the difference between the Chiefs and the Warriors is that the Warriors still had their core. They got older.
They also had Wiggins who stepped up.
Right. Well, but I'm saying they still had their core and they knew how to win. The Chiefs, the only people that really know how to win, Pacheco, obviously they just won, but other than that, there's a lot of
Kelsey.
Rice,
You still got Mahomes, Kelsey, Pacheco,
but you need a team.
Andy Reid.
You need somebody to throw to. Yeah. You need somebody.
You do. I agree.
Kadarius Toney does not know how to win.
I think they need to cut him.
He doesn't know how to catch.
So you know what I mean? So I think it's a different feel. I still think they could be scary, but it's a different feel than when the Warriors got it. And I was like, shit, you better.
Man, Mahomes just looks lost out there though.
Yeah, well, you know what?
There's games where he's looking at the sideline and he's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
and it's crazy. I think there was a video of that the other day where they didn't know what play to call, and it's like, man, the Chiefs are folding right now. You would never expect
out
it.
there. I'll be freaking. Why not? At this point, why not?
Run a couple slants.
You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I want to ask you this, and I don't really like to wish this on anyone, but I gotta assume the worst, right? Do you think you see Kadarius Toney in the league next year?
He's in the league. I don't think he's definitely not on the Chiefs. He shouldn't be on the Chiefs.
What team looks at Kadarius Toney after this season and the turmoil that he gives one of the best quarterbacks of all time?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I could use that guy.
Somebody's going to pick him up, man. Somebody's going to pick him up.
He won't be on the Chiefs next year.
No, he won't be on
For
the
sure.
Chiefs.
At all.
His value did go down because, after Tyreek Hill left, it's like, okay, Kadarius Toney, time to step up.
It's
and
big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and the fact that, he hasn't done much, his value definitely went down.
Well, look, they even tried it with receivers that were a little better. They even had Juju Smith for a little while.
Yeah, Juju Smith played well.
And then he decided to go get the bag somewhere else.
And he's not doing well. That was the Mahomes. Mahomes really... Juju was one of those that played well with Mahomes. That's what he needs. That's what Pat needs.
But do you think it's hard to play well with Mahomes, bro?
For Kadarius Toney, it is, obviously.
I think that's a Kadarius Toney problem,
It
bro.
is. I agree with you.
I look, if there's...
I agree.
One of the... Moving right along.
He'll be cut.
I got Kansas City. Who you got?
Kansas City.
All right. This is another quick one, and we'll take this one to end and move forward. Green Bay at Minnesota. The
Minnesota's
Vikings have
out.
switched QBs 4 different times.
They're out of the playoffs now.
Yeah. Green Bay still trying to find a glimmer of hope
Still
out of
a
Jordan
fun team
Love.
to watch.
Yeah, it's one of those teams where they have so much history that people kind of want to watch them. I compare them very similarly to Chicago, and not because they're just in the same division. I feel like people look at those two teams in the same lens. It's hard. And it's also the only night game on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, weird.
Are they going to play lazily?
Nobody's going to watch it.
Do you think that affects how they play?
No, I think the Packers are going to beat them. That's it.
Yeah, give me the Packers.
All right, we're looking at ESPN Bet right now. The Vikings are minus 120 to win.
I'm taking the Packers.
And the Packers are also minus 120 to
I'm
win.
taking the Packers.
Wow.
It actually says word for word, if you look at it, even.
If Petey
That's
puts
crazy.
it in, lock it in.
Packers.
Petey locks.
Petey locks. Petey locks.
About to have a Twitter page. Petey's locked.
Need to have his own Discord channel. Start charging people for the locks.
Yeah, word. But moving on to that, what else we got on the list, man? We got to talk a little bit about our
boom bust.
Our boom bust, man.
I was so excited to do that.
No.
I was waiting.
No,
am I missing something?
Yeah, we're talking about the. Oh no, you're right.
it's
I'm
boom
sorry.
bust.
You're right. I'm sorry.
You took the spotlight away from me.
Crazy.
I didn't mean to. You want to do it again?
Let's go. Boom bust of the week.
See, that was a little less
Seductive.
echo. That was a little more ASMR.
I like it. All right.
He said, "Hey, welcome to the show."
Start us off, Cody.
Listen, my first boom. I've been talking about him all episode long. CJ Stroud against Tennessee.
I like it.
Projected 19.1.
So you think he's going to ball?
It's Look, 19 is a decent number for anyone coming back from an injury, but for the offensive rookie of the year potentially to come back against Tennessee's defense, I think there's no reason he doesn't explode.
Yeah.
I like it.
20, he's projected 19.1. I don't think he goes under 25.
I agree.
All right. Well, then fine. Let's talk about your quarterback then.
Fine. I have Jared Goff to bust
Ooh.
in Dallas.
How much is he busting?
A good amount, because I think Dallas is going to get at least one pick.
Relax.
He's projected 16.4 against a Dallas defense who's strong.
Yo, David said, Noel, chill.
This is a peachy show. I don't think he's going to have a great game. He's going to throw a pick or two and not ball.
All right. I like that. Talking about how we flew past the Jacksonville game, there's a reason for that. Trevor Lawrence is the star of that team. He's not even playing. With that being said, I think it's going to be a running show. I got Etienne at a boom against Carolina, the worst team in football. Projected at 15.9, I think he could explode this game.
Yeah.
Like, without a
Who
doubt.
can't explode against Carolina? I think put Noel in a helmet and pads, and he could explode against
Hey,
Carolina.
man. You
Hey,
better
man.
give me that 10-day call.
You know, we're gonna come back. You know, we're gonna ask Noel, hey, how was your week? He's gonna be in pads.
Exactly.
He's gonna be in like the pregame routine. They're gonna have him on the side with
I'm
headphones
going to
on.
save the Jags this season. Going to the bowl.
All right. Well,
All right.
let's talk about your running back. Who you got?
Talk about the bum himself, Tony Pollard, against Detroit.
That's so disrespectful.
He's projected 14.8. I think he doesn't even put up 10.
Oh my God. 10?
I don't think he put up 10.
I say he puts over 10.
I think this is
What
a
do you
breakout.
want to? Sure.
Let's shake on your bust.
Fine.
Can we shake on your bust?
Fine.
I want to shake on your bust.
Under 14.8. I'm taking Pollard. He's not gonna have a good game. Dak is looking for a win. He's gonna throw the ball to anybody and not give it to him. Next.
All right. Last but not least, Justin Jefferson against Green Bay. You know, even though that he's been having some issues in the quarterback position, it's one of those teams where I think you got to see an upside to this one. Projected 16.8. I think he can let that explode.
Is it still Mullins?
It has to be, right? There's no one else there.
I guess, yeah.
There's no one else for
No,
them to put.
they have another backup.
Who's the other backup?
I forgot who it is.
You want to look it up, David?
I don't think it matters. Justin Jefferson should get 16.
Yeah, I got him. I think he gets at least 18. I'm going to say 18.
Fine.
How about you?
All right, my next bust on the Chiefs, Rashee Rice.
Okay.
I understand somebody needs to step up on this team, and I think he's played very well. But he's projected 18.6 points.
That's a high
That's a
projection.
very high
To
number.
put it into perspective, he's the fourth highest projected receiver of the week,
That's crazy.
just behind St. Brown.
Okay, I'm sorry. Look, little update. Nick Mullins is not the starter right now. The starter is Jaron Hall.
Good luck, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Honestly.
Rashee Rice is gonna bust.
All right.
He's not getting 18. No shot.
I like it. So going into this, you know, this is the moment that all of our fantasy fans have been waiting for. You know, one of those like build up the anticipation until it just, some might say, booms.
Or bust.
Or busts. You got Dylan Houghton in the championship, 8-6, against Anthony Barge, 9-5. Let's talk about these teams, bro. This is honestly projected 128 against projected 125.
I don't know if you looked a couple of days ago, but they were both projected 128 at one point. But that's just because Anthony has Josh Jacobs, who's not playing now. So he had to fill in that spot. Let's talk about the teams. You got Dylan. He's got Jalen Hurts at QB, Saquon at running back, Najee Harris, who's been pretty well, St. Brown, Rashee Rice, just talked about him, George Kittle, Gus Edwards,
Just talked about him.
the Bills defense, and none other than Young Hoku,
Young Hoku, man.
the GOAT.
That's your guy.
On the
That's
other side of the
boy.
ball, Anthony Barge, you got Josh Allen, James Conner, Devin Singletary, a bum, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Sam Laporta, Offensive Rookie of the Year, T. Higgins, without Jamar Chase on that team right now,
That's a good pickup.
Eagles DST, and Brandon Aubrey at kicker.
You know, I dropped T. Higgins.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I dropped him because I was like, this guy's a landmine
Yeah.
in fantasy. Like, I had him the whole season.
Why don't you explain that? What does that mean?
A landmine, you know, I drop him, somebody's going to pick him up, and he's going to blow up in their face.
Ooh,
I like that.
Wow. It took me a second to get there, but that was fire.
That was smooth.
Well
Yeah.
done. It's almost as if you speak on a microphone regularly.
Right?
Who's on the left side?
As
On the
Dillon.
right side is Anthony Barge. It's pretty even of a game, I'd say.
Damn, he's benching George Pickens.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not reliable to start anyone on Philly ever, bro.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not one of those
Pittsburgh.
that... Look, I think... What did I say?
He said Philly.
Oh, forgive me. Wrong P.
Mhm.
But as far as that goes, he is starting Najee Harris on Pittsburgh already, though. So I understand not wanting to start 2 players on Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And-
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because look, what's the alternative? He starts George Pickens and then he starts who? At running back,
Running
AJ
back.
Dillon. You can't do that.
Yeah.
There's no way. I think right now, as far as everything goes, I like Dylan Houghton's matchups more.
I wouldn't mind him starting Gus in the running back 2 spot and putting in Pickens in the flex and not starting Najee Harris.
I mean, Pickens been going off, man. That's why I was surprised.
Would you
But-
rather have Najee or Pickens start for you? Who do you think has more points this week?
I say Pickens.
And this week,
Mhm.
they play Seattle.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say Najee Harris has more points.
Okay. I would say
am.
Pickens.
I say Pickens too.
All right, fantasy points.
Yeah.
Are we talking about yards?
Fantasy points.
All right, I think Najee Harris has more
I'ma say
more
Pickens.
points. Okay, you want to shake on it too? No, we'll all just have
I'll
a
say Pickens.
group handshake. That's fine.
Another change on the other side. Would you rather start Singletary as Anthony starting
Mm-hmm.
or Hilaire now that Pacheco's out?
Singletary.
Yeah.
Singletary easy, and
Call
it's
him a
not.
bum though.
He is a bum, but Tennessee's defense is horrible, bro.
Yeah. their
Like,
run
it's
defense.
really one of those teams where you can't really make that decision. But I really think that there's hard matchups on Anthony Barge's side. Josh Allen against New England. Not to say that New England's good. Their defense is,
It's a
though.
good defense, and they're going to play them
James
hard.
Conner against Philly, hard defense. You know, Singletary, easy defense. Tyreek Hill against Baltimore,
gonna
hard
be tough.
defense. DeAndre Hopkins.
I mean, no Waddle though.
DeAndre Hopkins with Will Levis throwing to him. It's
Yeah.
hard.
No, it's hard. Sam Laporta against Dallas, a hard defense,
Yeah,
bro.
That's tough.
You know, T. Higgins against Kansas
If
City.
Jamar Chase doesn't play, he should ball. He should.
Yeah, he should.
He should.
He should. Eagles DST against Arizona looks like it's going to be pretty high, hopefully. And I don't know. I think it's so even, and I'm really eating my words because how long ago did I say Anthony Barge is overrated? Here he is looking at me in the face in the championship. Like, what the fuck were you talking about?
and where are you?
Oof.
Hey,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've won every game in my consolation match.
It feels like it feels like the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
Where like, all right, yeah, that trophy doesn't matter much. You have the finals.
Yeah, but like you saw when Shaq saw they hung up the in-season tournament banner. He's like, get that out of here.
yeah,
bro.
for real.
I like Anthony Barge's matchup so much less. I gotta go with the boy, the guy I've been rooting for, bro. I got Dylan Houghton. Dude.
It looks like a good matchup.
Damn.
It's hard.
It wouldn't be fun if I picked the same team as you. So I'm going to pick Anthony.
Okay. May the best man win.
Yeah.
And it's not me and you, it's them two.
It's them two. It's not even us.
Let's say this. Whoever wins at the end of the next episode, we're gonna just go on a little tangent about how we knew they were gonna win the whole time.
Yeah, no, exactly. I saw it the whole
Even
time.
though I didn't, one of us is gonna be wrong, but we're gonna be like, I knew it the whole time
Well, that's it.
because they deserve it.
We made it.
We made it. Look, to wrap up our fantasy season, we want to tell you guys this is what really started the league. This is what really started the podcast from the bottom of our heart. Thank you for always following us and what goes on with us and our friends. That's really it for the episode. I hope you guys enjoy your new year. Start the
Happy
new
New
year
Year.
with nothing.
Hold
but
on.
Whoa!
Before we
Breaking news!
I just gotta say this, and I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, so I don't want this to come off wrong.
Uh-huh.
But happy birthday to my guy.
Happy birthday, LeBron.
Shout out to the king.
He's 39. He's averaging these crazy like you know what I mean. He's
The
old.
GOAT.
Let me tell you something. I play ball once a week, twice a week. I'm 34.
I saw
I'm
his
hurting.
highlight reel.
I'm hurting. All right, I'm hurting.
Yeah.
So
It's tough.
Congrats to the guy.
Yeah. To do that
Yeah.
for until 39 is not an easy feat
We were
at all.
about to end the show, and it was breaking news. It's LeBron's birthday.
Honestly, I'm not mad at it.
No, I like it.
The quote that I had earlier.
We should find a birthday for every episode.
Oh, like an athlete birthday?
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Going into the new year, make sure everybody has a happy birthday.
Happy
you go.
birthday.
Everyone gets a shout out.
So back to my sentimental note. I know. I hope you guys have a happy new year. I hope your year is full of blessings and nothing but good fortune. And we hope you kept rocking with us, man. Hopefully, bigger things coming soon. Hopefully, catch us on YouTube soon. Follow us, man. Other than that, take it easy. Have a good day.
I'll see ya.
I'll see ya.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.